As soon as she heard him pass through the gallery, Lady Mary crept out of the door, down through the gateway, and ran home as fast as she could. Now it happened that the very next day the marriage contract of Lady Mary and Mr. Fox was to be signed, and there was a splendid breakfast before that, and when Mr. Fox was seated at table opposite Lady Mary, he looked at her. "How pale you are this morning, my dear." "Yes," said she, "I had a bad night's rest last night. I had horrible dreams." "Dreams go by contraries," said Mr. Fox, "but tell us your dream, and your sweet voice will make the time pass till the happy hour comes." "I dreamed," said Lady Mary, "that I went yestermorn to your castle, and I found it in the woods, with high walls, and a deep moat, and over the gateway was written, 'Be bold, be bold.' But it is not so, nor it was not so," said Mr. Fox, "and when I came to the doorway, over it was written, 'Be bold, but not too bold.' It is not so, nor it was not so," said Mr. Fox, "and then I went upstairs, and came to a gallery, at the end of which was a door, on which was written, 'Be bold, but not too bold, lest that your heart's blood should run cold.' It is not so, nor it was not so," said Mr. Fox, and then I opened the door, and the room was filled with bodies and skeletons of poor dead women, all stained with their blood. It is not so, nor it was not so, and God forbid it should be so," said Mr. Fox. "I then dreamed that I rushed down the gallery, and just as I was going down the stairs, I saw you, Mr. Fox, coming up to the hall door, dragging after you a poor young lady, rich and beautiful. It is not so, nor it was not so, and God forbid it should be so," said Mr. Fox. "I rushed downstairs, just in time to hide myself behind a cask, when you, Mr. Fox, came in dragging the young lady by the arm, and, as you passed me, Mr. Fox, I thought I saw you try and get off your diamond ring, and when you could not, Mr. Fox, it seemed to me in my dream, that you out with your sword and hacked off the poor lady's hand to get the ring. It is not so, nor it was not so, and God forbid it should be so," said Mr. Fox, and was going to say something else as he rose from his seat, when Lady Mary cried out, "But it is so, and it was so. Here's hand and ring I have to show," and pulled out the lady's hand from her dress, and pointed it straight at Mr. Fox. At once her brothers and her friends drew their swords and cut Mr. Fox into 1,000 pieces.